If you are ready to do a no spend month challenge that actually makes sense and starts you on a habit of reducing your spending while increasing your savings, then I have 4 steps along with some tips that you can use to make it a successful no spend month. I'm Joy of Frugal Creative Living, and one of the main reasons that people tend to fail their no spend challenges is because they don't set realistic guidelines for the challenge. And the first step that you can take in starting a successful no spend month is to set your savings goal. Now, whether you're paying off some debt or saving up for a family trip or needing to pay for a huge household expense, you're going to take the cost of whatever it is, just take the total amount of that expense, divide it up by however many months you have before that expense is due, and then that number is how much you need to save each month. Now, it might even be that you're just running out of money before the month is up, and it seems like you're not able to cover your basic expenses. Your savings goal would be whatever amount you need to make sure that your essential expenses are getting covered. Now, a no spend month challenge can be your whole saving strategy for the month, or it can be used to supplement your usual savings to get you closer to your monthly savings goal. So for example, if you need to save $200 this month, but you only have room in your monthly income to save $100, then your savings goal for the challenge would be that extra $100. Now, as you're setting up your rules, you'll be able to see which expenses you can pull that $100 from. Now, to help you set your rules, you're going to look back at previous month's expenses. You can check your bank statements, look at your expense tracker if you use it. You can use an app like Fetch, where you scan your receipts in to receive points that accumulate and then can be redeemed for gift cards to a variety of popular stores, online merchants, and restaurants. As a matter of fact, I've gotten about 6 $10 gift cards for Amazon. And it doesn't even matter how much your receipt is for. You always get a minimum of 25 points. But because the Fetch app scans, itemizes, and calculates every receipt, including e-receipts from online purchases and receipts sent to your email, and it stores the data from those receipts, you can look back at the past 12 months and see how much you spent each month and exactly what you spent it on. And I have a link in the description for the Fetch app. But however you track and view your expenses, you're going to take the items that you see showing up pretty much every month or every other month and put those things into 3 lists. And the first list you're going to create is the no spend list. If you have children like I do, then that would be toys, no video games, no new apps. If you're really crafty like myself and my daughter, that would be no crafting supplies. Of course, no clothes, no organizational supplies like bins, no hair tools and accessories, definitely no eating out. You can even go so far as to remove any junk foods off of your grocery list. I mean, most of us need to eat a little healthier anyway, so this would be a good opportunity to take advantage of that. I would also recommend pausing any video streaming or cable services for the month, and any non-essential subscriptions, you can just either pause those or cancel them altogether, and then put the dollar amount next to each of those items so that you can quantify just how much you're really saving in this month. Even things like your daily coffee, or if you know that you usually buy dinner every Wednesday evening out, then put that on the list and then multiply the usual cost of that meal or that coffee times the number of days that you would normally buy those things, and then write that amount next to the item. Doing this process, you'll be able to see if you're getting close to being able to meet that savings goal. And if not, you can just continue looking and see if there's something else that you can add to the no spend list. Now, this extra bit of information is really going to come in handy in step 4. The next list that you're going to create is a must spend list. Now, this could include things like groceries based on meal plans, and try to meal plan so that you're using up what you already have in the house. If you have canned foods, bags of rice, pasta, beans, meats in the freezer, don't buy any more of those foods until or unless you use all of what you already have. And then try to focus your grocery list primarily on perishables like eggs, milk, bread, fresh veggies, and fruits during the no spend month. And if need be, if you do have to buy some of those non-perishable staples, try to do it before the challenge starts, and then set your meal plan to use only those items throughout the month. And another item that you can put on your must spend list would be gas for your car. But even in using gas, try to spend less on that by consolidating your travel. Try to group your errands so that you're not coming and going more than necessary. So if you have a doctor's appointment and you need to go grocery shopping, set your grocery shopping trip for right after the appointment so that you're not going all the way back home and then coming out again, because chances are it's going to use up more gas, which of course is going to use more money. Another item for the must spend list would be household necessities like utility bills, gas, electric, water, your phone bill, all of the insurances. Also, any event that you already had scheduled that you can't reschedule that might require you to spend some money, that would still go on your must spend list as well. Now, the third list that you can create is a make instead list. Now, my motto for this channel is spend less, create more, because I just love that my frugality sparks creativity and then my creativity supports my frugality. It's just this beautiful cycle of life. But there are a number of things that can go on this make instead list. For example, medicine is something that should go on the must spend list if you have a serious or a chronic illness. However, if you don't have anything serious, then medicine could go on the make instead list for things like mild headaches or your basic cold instead of running to the store for cough medicine and throat lozenges. You can just use some common and effective home remedies. My children's doctor actually told me that I should use honey and lemon instead of getting my usual kids medicine when my son had a cold recently, because it worked just as well. But it could be your opportunity to just try some new DIY treatments. And then the same goes for cleaning supplies. If you happen to run out during the challenge, there are DIY cleaners that you can make using vinegar or rubbing alcohol, and then use old clean socks or t-shirts as cleaning rags. And you can just find some other crafting or repurposing projects to help you make some of the things that you need instead of spending money buying them. And I do have a repurpose projects playlist that you can check out after this video. Now, after you've set your rules for what you will and won't spend, you're going to track your spending throughout the month. Now, you can use a regular calendar sheet, or you can use a sheet like this one that you can download for free from my website. And each day you'll just fill in how much money you spent. Now, keeping in mind all of the rules that you set, you should be adding amounts for those things that fall into the must spend list categories. Now, I like the idea of including my bills and all expenses because at the end of the month, I can just calculate everything from the one sheet and then compare it to the previous month's expenses and see how much less I actually spent. Now, if you have bills on auto pay, just check your bank account to see what was paid that day, add it to whatever other purchases you might have made, and then fill it in on the calendar sheet. Now, the last step is to put what you saved into a high yield savings account. And you can do this a few different ways. This step should be happening after all of your bills and necessary expenses are paid for the month. But you should be able to look at your bank account and see that you have more money left over than usual. Now, if you included the dollar amounts when you were making your no spend list, then you should have met your savings goal, and you can transfer the desired savings amount into your savings account. And another way is to calculate all of the spending that you filled in each day and subtract the total from the total spending that you did in the previous month or months, and then transfer the difference to your savings account. Or you can just take all of the money that you have left over and put it into your savings account. If you do your planning before starting your no spend month and no expensive emergencies come up along the way, then this should be a successful month for you. And if you're concerned about your willpower and whether you can stick to this, just ask a frugal friend that you might have to keep you accountable, or see if someone else you know wants to do the challenge as well to make it a little bit more fun and enjoyable. However you get it done, I hope the process helps you to discover the treasures you already have in your possession and that you find success in whatever you're endeavoring to do this year. And if you want some other savings challenge ideas, you can check out this video right here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.